Oh, sorry. Jeez, we're on? Jeez, I got to be careful what I
That's
say.
all right. That's all right.
Hi, everybody in Shrewsbury. Remember me? Hello.
Terry, everybody knows you anyways. You could talk for a whole hour. All right, Nick, introduce us. Billy, are you comfortable?
Okay.
Are you comfortable?
Yeah, I'm comfortable. I got 2 grandchildren upstairs, 2 boys.
They're driving you nuts. Go ahead, Nick. Introduce the show. It's been so long, people probably forgot.
Yes,
wait a
we're
minute.
back.
Wait a minute.
What?
The next guy that's going to talk, yes, it is Nick Tedisco, even if it doesn't look like
Yeah, because I took my hat off for a change.
him.
Oh, Uncle Festa.
So welcome, folks. This is Good Morning Shrewsbury, not Coach's Corner. We decided we would do our annual Super Bowl show this year. Last year we missed it because of COVID. Unfortunately, John Aloisi could not join us. He's coaching his son's basketball team today, travel basketball team. So he did send in his pick, which I have down here. And obviously we've got Bobby Bigda, Johnny Mastro, Billy Orfley, and our great friend over the last 2 decades, almost 3 decades, Hall of Fame coach Terry Wallace. Welcome back, Terry. Glad to have you.
Thank you, Nick. I'll send you the check in the mail for that nice introduction.
There you go.
So this is our annual Super Bowl show.
Right.
Bobby, I saw you there. What do you got? You were looking at your computer or something. You looking at the line, the offense and the
I
defense.
actually don't even know. What is the line? I don't know.
4.5. Rams.
4.5 points.
What's the money line?
Rams are
190, was it?
190?
150.
Wow.
150.
And the Bengals were 2 something plus 260 or something.
Yeah.
Terry,
Yes.
how do we got to get started. How do the Bengals keep the defensive line of the Rams off Joe Burrow?
Yeah, it's a great question, John. I think that's the key. I think that's the key to the game. Well, you got to kind of change a little bit. I mean, they got 3 outstanding receivers and a great back in Mixon. So, but I think you're going to find them possibly chipping a lot more than they normally do because you got Von Miller and you got Donald and everybody else there. But I got to say that Joe Burrow has shown that he can have tremendous games even with guys in his face, which a lot of people don't do. I mean, the knock on Brady for years was get him off a spot. Burrow doesn't seem fazed by it. But, yeah, they'll probably have to devise things. And the other thing, John, to do when you have a team that has a tremendous pass rush is slow them down by running a lot more screens than they normally do. And, I think they're going to, the old adage is go what got you there. They're going to try their regular game plan. But I think they showed great adjustments last week against Kansas City. Can you imagine at halftime you go in there and you're getting your butt kicked on defense, and basically they shut Kansas City right down. And offensively, they certainly looked a lot better too. So that was a great job by the Bengal coaching staff making adjustments at halftime. But I think they're going to, I think they'll start their game plan they normally do. And then if they cannot keep them out of the backfield, Burrow's getting hit, they'll make some adjustments. And one of the adjustments is you got to keep more guys in, So that's a problem. See, when you talk about offensive passing game, it's a numbers game. So if you hear all the time on TV, well, if we can get to them with 4, that's great because the point is there's 7 guys back. And you can only send out 5, so it's 5 on 7 at the best for the offense. So if you can, like I said, keep another guy in, and you can still rush 4. You got 4 on 7. It's just a mathematical situation. People think football's all physical, and it certainly is, but it's a lot about is the numbers, and that's been there forever.
It's like chess. You've always said it's like a chess match. They move somebody outside the tight end or inside the tight end, and then you have to make an adjustment. It's always been that way.
You're right, John. Great point. Exactly right. It's just, you hear things like cliches, like numbers in the box and things like that. And it's so true, though. So just quickly, so say you have a tight end in the game. So you have 6 offensive linemen, and say you run in the old Shrewsbury I game, and you have a fullback, and all of a sudden you look out there, and they only have 7 in the box. Well, I got 7 on 7. I like those odds. And anytime you have more linemen or blockers than they have in the box, you should run the ball. That's why they always, like Tony Romo's always talking about 2 safeties. Well, if you take the 2 safeties and the 2 corners, the most they're going to have in the box is 7. And then if you go 4 wide receivers, they have to cover those. So now they got 5. Well, I already got 5 linemen. So that's why you see teams run the ball, sometimes in that situation we think, why are you running the ball? Well, because the numbers say to run the ball.
You sound like Shepherd Hill coach now. That's
Yeah,
what
really
they try
please.
to do all the time. They try to outman you at the line of scrimmage.
Please don't say that. I love Dave Buchanan. I love Chris Lindstrom, and I love Ryan Dugan, but don't say Shepherd Hill because my head will explode with the double wing.
What do you guys think? I have a question. All those years in Detroit, I am not a Matthew Stafford's fan. I'm going to tell you right up front. I just think I can't believe they've made it to the Super Bowl with him because I always thought he was the reason Detroit had great wide receivers a couple of years and they still lost. So I'm not a Matthew Stafford fan. What is the difference? Is it the offense he's in? What do you guys think?
I think a couple things, John. I think one thing, first of all, Detroit never had a defense. They would have to outscore everybody 44-41, and they couldn't do that. Stafford had weapons, but I don't think he never had a prolific running back, as far as I remember. They were pretty good wide receivers, Megatron and those guys. But the other thing is, I think he's got a lot of weapons to work with on the Rams that he didn't have with Detroit. He's got a good running back. Akers is a good running back. He's back. And the 3 wide receivers, I mean, they're virtually all pro. All those guys. Cup is the best wide receiver in the league.
Cup is Edelman Jr.
What's
I
that?
think Cup is Edelman Jr.
Yeah.
He plays the slot.
But he can go deep too. So
Yeah, no.
he's
He's got
a little bit
speed.
different than Edelman, a little bit faster. And I think Odell Beckham is found his home. He was bouncing around for a while. And I think Jefferson is an up-and-coming, very good receiver too. Not to take it away from Cincinnati, because they got 3 good ones too. Chase, Higgins, and Boyd are as good as, probably close to as good as those guys.
Go ahead, Billy.
No, I just think that Cooper Cup and OBJ is just they're going to be just too much for Cincinnati. I like Akers and Michelle in the backfield.
Johnny, Johnny's head's gonna explode.
Yeah,
Say Sony Michelle.
Yeah, I think the only thing that Johnny hates worse than
jet
Sony
sweep.
Michel is the jet sweep. Yeah, that's about it.
No. I can stand the jet sweep because I can laugh about it. I hate 2 things. 2. I hate Sony Michel, the worst draft pick in the history of the Patriots, almost. We could have had Nick Chubb. That's all I'm going to say. Number two, N'Keal Harry. What a waste of a pick. Cut him. Get rid of him too.
Okay.
All right, I'm done.
Talking about losers. Yeah. Let's good. How many touchdowns in the Super Bowl?
How many?
Yeah.
Both teams?
I don't know.
For every time that he's been in the Super Bowl with the Patriots, how many touchdowns has he scored?
I don't know.
4.
4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got a nose for the goal line. I don't care what you say. He's got a nose for the goal line, and he doesn't listen to Johnny. So,
Terry, what do you think of Sony Michel? You're a coach. What are you thinking of?
Well, I'm kind of with you, John, but not all the way with you, John. I agree with Billy. He's a closer, and here's another thing that you can't put a label on here. He's been in Super Bowls. You see what I'm saying? So when you're down by the goal line, you give Sony Michel the ball. He's not going to fumble. Cam Akers may fumble, only because he hasn't been Okay, and so to go back, Bobby brought up some great points about Matthew Stafford, and here's the other thing too that no one mentioned yet. You know, you can break it down a long time ago. You know, we were known back in the day when I was coaching at Shrewsbury of a team to win a lot of close games. And that just doesn't happen by osmosis. I didn't have to take a magic wand and say we're going to win. It's by doing it over and over and over again. So now Matthew Stafford has won 3 playoff games. Okay, and I think
First 3 of his career. The
Right.
first 3 of his career.
This
Okay.
is true. But here's the thing. No one mentioned the offense he's running. It's much more conducive to him. In Detroit, he was a straight drop back passer for sure. And now he does drop pass, but he also runs tons of bootlegs and stuff like that. And he's an athletic guy with a cannon. And like Billy said, tremendous weapons. I mean, he's got unbelievable wide receivers, and OBJ's, playing like OBJ did in the past. So I think it's really going to come down to, you got 2 teams that have never been there before. And it's going to come down to, when you look at the end of the game, it's going to be a couple things. Number 1, turnovers and penalties. And I think field position. I don't think, if the Bengals are going to be able to go 75 yards all day long on the Ram defense, and then you'll see if the Rams do it too, but one thing about the Bengals, there's been no one better in the second half in the playoff games than them, and that's coaching and players, adapting to the game. So I think it should be a fascinating game. I'm just sad. I would have liked to see that. I can't believe I'm saying this. I would have liked to see the Bills in it, because I just thought at the end of the year, even in the playoffs, they were the best team. They just choked against the Chiefs at the end. But Josh Allen was playing out of his mind. I thought he'd be a lot of fun to watch, but Burrow is too. So I think it should be a fascinating game.
Yeah, I agree.
I these guys all know, because we talk during the week and when the games are on. I am a big Josh Allen fan. I think he's got it all. He's got a cannon for an arm. He can run, and he's fearless. Now, that could get him in trouble at some point in the future, where maybe he'll get hurt or something. But I mean, a guy that can run like he does, he's 6'5", 260 pounds. I think the Bills got a good future, at least the immediate next 10 years future with him. I love that guy. I would have loved to have seen them in it too.
Yeah, that was a great game that they played. It's too bad. They have to change that rule. They really do. I don't like that sudden death rule. I think both teams, just like high school, I think both teams' offense should have an opportunity to score and then let it play out after that.
I agree with that.
You guys really loved it when the Patriots scored, didn't you, against Kansas City?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, but it wasn't fair then either, Billy.
yeah, but you didn't say it then either.
Yeah, I did.
Yes, he
What were you
did.
gonna say?
He did.
I just want to say, boy, things have really changed. Let me tell you. Yeah, okay, nothing's changed with the group of you guys. My God.
Nothing. I tell people.
Ready? Hey, look, the sky's blue. No, it isn't. It's not blue.
That's John and I's argument.
Bobby, he's imitating you.
Yeah, I know.
Terry, I tell people all the time. People say, "Oh, I really like your shows. I like Coach's Corner. I said, believe me, we're the exact same way when we're all together playing golf as we are when we're on TV. That's never going to change.
That's true, Chip.
Oh boy.
Terry, I'm sure that you've heard rumors from people that your name still occasionally comes up during our football broadcast. You realize that?
Yeah, Nick, I have had actually people say that. And then I had one person say, I was watching the Shrewsbury football game. Yeah. And I said, yeah. And, the same guys do it. I go, of course they do. I know all those guys. But your name comes up once in a while. Are you still affiliated with Shrewsbury? And I've heard for some reason, like Mr. Mastro likes to bring up, if there's a couple timeouts called, if that was used the ball in the first quarter,
Only when they call timeout before they run a play in the game.
Or
that has happened.
They call back-to-back timeouts.
Yeah.
I might bring it up then too.
That happened too.
Yes, it did.
We don't
See,
know
the
you
thing
don't
is,
run.
But Nick, thank you for you always have kind words, Nick. Thank you, Nick. You're the man, and I think you look great without a hat. Don't worry about these other guys, okay?
Terry,
You look
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, really.
Listen, I'm no brown nose. I say it how it is.
not you, him.
Oh, well.
Hey, Terry, He edits all the bad comments out before anybody else hears them. That's
That could be true. That could be true.
I think people, I really sometimes think people don't believe that we are friends with you. It's
Oh,
not
God.
just a coach announcer relationship, that you're our friend and we
Oh.
consider you our friend. I don't think
Well-
people understand that.
Well, I will say exactly. I mean, I think the world of you guys. I always have, and I got a text the other day, from Nick. I'm in, you know what I mean? Anytime I could ever, be part of with you guys, I love to be part of it. And then of course, we've also, shared in some time, some family loss and stuff, we're there at those things and stuff. So that's the proof in the pudding. The proof in the pudding is if you care about people, you're not just caring about them when you're doing like a format like this. And believe me, I tell people all the time, I said, I was so blessed to have an experience that I did at Shrewsbury, not only coaching and relationship with players and coaches, but you guys, again, you're like family. And, I said, I never had anything like it and I'll never have anything like it. And I said, anytime that they would ever call for me to be part of that, though I'm not part of Shrewsbury anymore, to me, I'm part of those guys. So I would certainly come. That's the bottom line. That's
Thank
a
you,
fact.
Terry. Thank
Thank you
guys-
so much.
And you
Some
guys are
of my-
classy. All kidding aside, you guys are classy guys. You've been there since day one, thick and thin. Okay, and how many school districts can say that they have people who support the athletic program like you guys do? Let me answer that. None. Okay, so I mean, anybody, when you say from Shrewsbury and stuff like that, and say what a situation I had, the coach's corner and all this stuff, it's just fabulous, So you got anybody ever detracts that, tell them to go pound sand, because I'll tell you what, the kids are blessed to have you guys. That's
It hasn't gotten any easier for us either, Terry, because over the years, that our credo has always been, we do this for the kids. We do it.
Right.
We do it for the kids. That's been since day one. And we really don't single out kids or make fun of them. We try and support them, and actually we try and build them up as much as we can. Anybody else, we can take free shots at them. Coaches, referees, we try to be honest about it. We don't lie or anything like that. But it's become very difficult over time because people seem to be a lot more sensitive over what we're
Oh,
saying.
God. It's worse now than it ever was.
yeah.
It's gotten harder and harder. So,
Well, let's be honest. I could have filed a class civil action suit against John Mastro alone on what he said about me.
that's
Terry,
true.
ready? Let me just throw a few
Wait a
quotes.
minute. I
Hey
always
Terry,
preempt
hey
it.
Terry, I love you, but I don't know what you're doing. Oh my God,
always said
that stinks. Why we keep going?
Yeah,
I mean,
we all would have been on your side. You could have called us as character witnesses.
yes, I would have.
What are we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing, Terry? I love you, but what are you doing? And then of course, now real quick, inside the behind the scenes of Coach's Corner, I'd come in, a few minutes later, and John would always lie and say that I'd be joking around with these guys and stuff. Of course, I was serious the whole time. But anyways, John would say, Terry, what were you thinking there? You ran that play and you lost 5 yards. I said, John, you know what? I felt so bad for the opposing defense that I figured we'll lose 5 yards in this play to see what will happen. I said,
Wait a
John,
minute.
No. Terry,
The ultimate was when we brought your father on the show.
Oh,
And
God.
About you punting,
Oh,
right, Johnny? Remember that?
Yeah.
When we
So
asked your dad
true.
about would you
He
punt?
said the same thing, John.
He
I
said
don't
the
know
same
what
thing
you were
I
thinking.
said. What is he doing?
I know. So again, believe me, I miss my dad every day, and you guys met him, and he was just unbelievable.
Great.
I called him every Saturday morning after game my whole coaching career. And, for example, we'd beat someone like, we'd beat Fitchburg, 31 to 28 or something like that. I say, hey, what you think? He goes, what the hell were you thinking in the third quarter? What are you talking about? He says, why didn't you punt? What's wrong with you? I'm like, wait a minute, what about the whole game? I don't care about the whole game. What were you thinking about? Thanks, Dad. I really appreciate it, But I mean, again, he was a great support system to me too. But boy, I'll tell you, he'd say it how it is, and that's why. And you guys asked to have him to go on the show, and he was like kind of hesitant. I said, listen, you need to go on the show because these guys don't believe me what you say, okay? And I remember Billy D'Amelio said, all right, come on. What really happens when he calls? He goes, what? Well, I tell him hell he did wrong. That's what I tell him.
He did. He did.
Isn't that what fathers are supposed to do?
Exactly. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been much more difficult the
that's
last
terrible.
few years for us. It really has. I'm being honest with you. What?
We're getting senile. We forget things, and we say what it is, and
Listen,
love the school, we love the coaching, but we just really don't care. We just say what we feel.
Well, that's you. You don't care. The rest of us care what you say.
though, all kidding aside, I have watched some of the broadcasts just because, just to kind of see what it is, especially when we were playing them late in the year and stuff, like kind of watch a few of the games. And you know what, I gotta tell you, you guys haven't changed the way you go about stuff. You know what I mean? It's just, I'd rather have a broadcast, even if it was my home broadcast, of people kind of saying what it is. You never slam the kids. You always talk about good effort. And if they do something well, you compliment them or whatever like that. You don't really, say, boy, that place, that kid stunk or whatever like that. You never done that. You've never done that. I mean, you'll say the play call stunk, of course, but that's, I never cared about that. I mean,
That's true.
We know.
So all kidding aside, when did I ever come in at a coach's corner and say, hey guys, listen, you guys got to let up. Oh my God, I can't take it anymore. It's really bothering me.
Never.
My
No.
God, I would never do that.
I still,
we
Terry,
know
I
that.
still like your best comment talking about the 5-yard loss. Was you always would tell us we ran that play to set up a play later in the game.
Exactly. It's true. It really is true. I mean, you never want to call a play. And then, it's funny, as you get older, you get a little bit better. I mean, my younger years, I would, really get on the referees at times, and you watch the film and they were right 95% of the time or even higher. So then, I'd have a young assistant coaches, start, oh my God, the refs. I said, listen, let me explain something to you. Okay. The reason you shouldn't yell at the refs all the time. If I call a play and we throw an interception, does the side come over? Hey, Terry, nice call, baby. Nice. No, he does not. Okay. So even if he made a mistake, it happens. He's not trying to say, I'm going to do it on purpose. So it's just human, so if that just comes with age and, whatever. But, no, you guys have always done a great job. And like I said, when we get together, we always have a ball. All we do is laugh and,
Reminisce and
it's amazing.
laugh.
Yeah, it's amazing you guys have done it for so long. I mean, talk about, here's the key to all of it. All of you guys have no horse in the race. You have nothing. In other words, you don't have kids or grandkids or whatever. And the thing, you still do it like Billy and you guys said, because you love the kids and you love the school. And that's the bottom line. So if people don't like the way you do it, you know what? They're missing the boat. I'm sorry. And I'm a Worcester guy that, obviously has a lot of Shrewsbury blood in me from coaching. I'll tell that to anybody.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Terry.
Well, we
Okay.
appreciate that.
Go right there. The hell with everybody else.
Well, we have a lot of support in Shrewsbury. John Aloisi supports us. Jay Costa has our backs. 99% of the time.
Right.
And we occasionally do screw up, and we have to be responsible about it and apologize and move on. It's just we enjoy doing what we're doing, and we like to promote the kids in the athletic program in Shrewsbury. Bottom line. Really,
Terry,
that's
you know
it's
what
all
we
about.
did this year? You know what
What's
we
that?
did this year? Nick, do you have it on your phone?
Which one?
The beginning of the broadcast.
I forget.
The views and opinions.
Oh yeah. Well,
we
have
did
to-
it. We did it this year.
Yeah.
We have to do it.
You know,
Speaking of trouble, not to bring our friend up, let's go 23 years ago. This is a little bit of trouble. First play of the game against Wachusett, we scored a touchdown. Someone who's not here right now says, "Turn out, it's the party's over."
You got in trouble
we got
that-
kicked off of the government channel because of that.
And then the next morning, I got a phone call from Dr. Gudikants. Can you please come in and visit me?
Oh no,
Yeah.
that's hilarious.
Yep.
Well,
well.
that was when Wachusett wasn't very good. So, all right, we got to get back to the Super Bowl. So is Cincinnati going to try and control the ball and keep the ball out of Stafford's hands?
My opinion is they're going to do what they normally do, until they can't or it's not working. You know, I think if Cincinnati says if we get into a slugfest with the Rams, that's fine. We can deal with that. You know, can they deal with a slower paced game? Maybe, but they haven't done that yet. You know what I mean? They haven't really gone slow. So I think Cincinnati's going to come on and play what they normally do. And then if they can't, like we talked about earlier, if they can't stop the pass rush, they're going to make some adjustments in offense. And then defense, like I said, I was so impressed with the defensive staff of Cincinnati in the second half of the Chiefs game. I mean, they came out as a different football team. So I think, you know, when you get that far, John, you do look at the opponent, of course you do, but you say to yourself, listen, we've won 3 straight playoff games. We're going to do we're going to be who we are. And then if it's not working, then you got to change, go to plan B, you know, but I expect Cincinnati to come out guns blazing like they have for the last 3 games.
What do you think of Joe Burrow? What do you guys think of Joe Burrow?
I love Joe Burrow. I
I
think
do
he's
too.
awesome. I really do. I think he's awesome.
I do too. For a young kid who has the poise of a guy who's been playing for 10 years, I think.
Yep. Yeah.
They even show him on the sidelines. He's not panicked. He's not, you know, running around yelling at people. He's just cool.
He's just a kid. He's only going to get
I
better
know.
about it.
I know.
You know?
Yeah.
Terry, does that have something to do with the fact that he's a second-year player, but he's 25?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So
Yeah.
he went to Ohio State and transferred to LSU, and the rest is history. But absolutely, John. I mean, a couple years experience, and let's call it a spade. Okay, when you play in the SEC, it's like the minor leagues of the NFL. Let's be honest. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
and he tore them apart. What I love about him, here's what I love about him, because I'm old school. He gets his butt kicked against Tennessee. I mean, he's just getting killed. Still comes at the end and keeps coming. It's almost like, listen, you can do whatever you want to me, but I'm going to keep coming. And as a coach, you love people like that.
I'm still here. Yep. Yep.
Love it.
Yep. I hear you.
Kind of like how you used to play, Terry, right?
Well, I was
Right.
not at the level of Joe Burrow, but I'll tell you what, I'd get up though every time whether I was stupid or not, I did. Yeah, no, because you know that's why when I coach quarterbacks and I see them not stepping up in the pocket, and they'll say things, well, coach, there was pressure on me. I don't know what to say, you know. Then you had a guy like Lee Diamantopoulos who's 150, 60 pounds getting his butt kicked. And, you know, he's on the ground like almost knocked out. And he says, coach, call a timeout. I'm okay. You love people like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't. We never have anything but good stuff to say about Lee, you know,
Right.
and he takes a little bit of ribbing from us because we love him so much.
Yeah.
Okay. But as a quarterback, you know, what a great leader. What a great leader.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He was a great point guard too, and a great baseball player. He did it all.
And he's a good coach.
Yep,
Yeah.
he is a good coach. Wow.
Check yes to all of them.
Well, we give him a hard time about the coaching.
Yeah.
But
We do.
What a
But
shock.
part of the deal.
Give coach a hard time, really? I can't. Never happened.
I know, it's hard to believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really. Really.
Yeah, you
We
had a
gotta yell
couple
at
of
somebody.
coaches.
We gotta criticize somebody, Terry. So it's the coach that takes the brunt, the coach and the refs.
How about Jawad? Jawad was another great quarterback.
Yeah.
Listen, I listen. If I had to write a book about my experience at Shrewsbury, I was very blessed in a lot of ways. And one of the ways was I had some outstanding quarterbacks through the years. I mean, you go back, you start with Lee, okay, and then you had the next really up and line was Jawad. You know, then you had Nate Theodos. You had Mike Coggeshall. You know, he was
Real.
I mean, go back and watch some of the film on the kid too.
Oh yeah.
And you know, and you know, other guys in between, but those guys really stood out, and they won a lot of football games, and the statistics were decent. But what I remember most is just those guys. You think about it, we won close games with all those guys.
Yep.
You know what I mean? The culture was, you know, find us a way to be. I'll never forget before games, and you know, Billy and Nick's and John, you know, your sons could attest to this. I would say, listen, find a way for us to be in the game in the fourth quarter. We'll find a way to win. And, you know, what happens if you do it so many times, the kids buy into it. And, you know, the proof was in the pudding. I mean, we went so many games, you couldn't even, like my wife says, you couldn't even make it a movie because no one would ever believe it because it was
That's
unreal.
right. That's right. Yeah.
I go back.
I
I
had
go
some
back.
great quarterbacks.
I always go back to the year, and Chris wasn't a great quarterback, but he was a ferocious competitor. Was the year we went 7-4, I think, with Chris Abasha.
Oh, yeah.
We won 3 games in overtime and 5 games in the last minute. I don't remember.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, just a ferocious competitor, the kind
He
of
may
kid
have
you
been-
want. Go
He
ahead.
may have been one of your greatest athletes, Terry. You know that, Chris Abasha? I mean,
No doubt.
for what he did, he put that team on his back, and my gosh, what a great player.
The
Yeah.
will to win. The will to win. That's what it comes down to. And the reason I bring up Abashi is because Burrow, he never gives up. He never gives up. I personally like Joe Burrow a lot. I think he's got a long, as long as he stays away from injuries. I mean, that was a major injury he had last year when he tore the ACL, MCL, and did some damage to the meniscus. And yet he still came back pretty quickly, as far as I'm concerned. You got to love guys like that.
How much
Well,
time,
go ahead, Billy.
how much time we have left?
Half an
Well,
hour.
we're going to
Why,
11
you
o'clock.
tired?
Oh, wow. We have a whole hour. This is great. Hey, so the thing about Burrow that you talk about too is this, and people don't really give enough value to this. It's called belief. Okay. I've always taught quarterbacks, listen, you go in the huddle, you act like you're 10 for your last 10, even if you're 0 for 10, because they're all looking at you. And if you panic, they're going to panic.
Yeah.
And, I remember like Matt Piccaro telling stories about like on the sideline when I'd be talking to quarterbacks before the plays, he'd look at me and says, "There's something wrong with you. You know that?" I said, "Shut up." But anyways, think about the belief the Bengals have in Joe Burrow right now. They've come back, they've won on the road, he's getting knocks on his, ass, and he keeps getting up. I mean, that's the key to football. Belief in one another, and especially from the leadership. And the leadership's, the coaches and the quarterback on offense, and whether you're, middle linebackers on defense.
They're going to get they need to get a couple of offensive linemen for that kid. They really do. A couple of guys that are monsters to help protect him.
I posted something on Facebook 2 weeks ago that the Cincinnati Bengals should use every single draft pick this year on line.
I agree with that. Yeah, I saw that, John.
Everyone.
I agree with that.
Somebody's got to hit. They got to hit one or two of them.
Yeah, right.
I mean, on offensive linemen, I think he's great. And what you just said, Terry, isn't that what Tom Brady brought here for 20 years? How many times with 1:40 left in the game, we're trailing by 3 and we get the ball back? How many times did we just go, "It's over. Brady's going to bring us down. We're going to score. It's not the game's ours." I mean,
Exactly.
that's the kind of confidence I think you're talking about.
All right, so John, to solidify your point, okay, we had it for 20 years, spoiled rotten, exactly right. So he goes to a team that has some talent, but teams with talent don't always win, a la Dallas Cowboys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You bring Tom Brady to Tampa Bay, and all of a sudden, all those games they didn't win, they win. You know what I mean? Because he brought the credibility. I mean, he goes in a huddle and he says, "Listen, gentlemen, let's go. We're going down the field." They're like, "Oh, Christ, yes, we are. We're going down the field," because he's done it so many times.
Right.
And that's the difference, like you just.
Terry, one thing with Tampa Bay when Brady went, I remember watching the first couple games, and they were the same Tampa Bay team that what's his name? Winston had and everything else.
Jameson,
They were doing stupid things. They were late hits. They were offsides, jumping offside. They were personal fouls. There was everything. And he, as Arian said, to his credit, I don't like the guy myself, but he said that Brady came to Tampa and taught our team how to win. And they eliminated the mistakes. They eliminated the stupid plays. And I think that was a big key to that whole thing.
100% agree. 100% agree. Couldn't have said it better myself. That's exactly right.
It's too early for us to start picking, right? We're not going to pick yet.
No.
What do
I
you
mean, we
think?
can. We can.
What do you
Let's
think?
argue about it for 20 minutes.
Yeah, we can justify.
I think we should talk about the importance of having the jet sweep in your offense. That's what I think.
Hey, I did notice a lot of the teams are running that play now.
Oh.
Like, maybe always they ran it, but I noticed how successful it's been.
But they're professionals. They run
I know.
4.3 40s, not
I know.
5.4 40s.
I know.
I'm sorry, Terry. I hate that play.
I don't mind, John.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a
right,
surprise,
Billy.
Yeah. I think Terry knows that you don't like that play.
So What else? What do you think of let's, before we make our picks, what do you think of Mac Jones? Terry.
Yeah, Mac Jones, I mean, he's a solid guy. I mean, think about all the big games he's played in before coming to the Patriots. You know, I just think the bottom line is you got to get a few more weapons around him. You know, I mean, they obviously got better from the year before, but I mean, let's put it this way. When you play Kansas City, what are you concerned about? You're concerned about, you know, Tyreek Hill running by the defenders, okay? And Kelsey and all the other guys, okay?
Yeah.
Most really good teams, like, for example, the Bengals, who are you worried about? You're worried about Jamar Chase running by defenders. They got a guy that can stretch the field. Patriots don't have that. I mean, and you need someone that, even if you don't complete it, it puts the fear in the secondary, you know, and they got it.
Well, wait a minute, Terry.
Yeah.
The Patriots have N'Keal Harry.
Yeah. Kill Harry.
Terry,
I'm sorry. I digress. Go ahead.
Terry, let me ask you a question.
I hate that guy.
Concentrate. They're going to concentrate on getting Mac Jones weapons, or they're going to concentrate on getting younger in the backfield of the defensive portion of the game. 40 and Hightower, and there's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys there that just they can't keep up with the Hills and all the others.
Which they proved at the end of the season. Their defense was awful.
Awful.
Yeah, Billy, you got a great point there. I believe, you know, and see, here's the thing. Bill Belichick's been a fabulous coach. You know, I mean, his record speaks for itself. But, you know, sometimes you got to evolve even with the game. And the game has become all about speed on both sides of the ball. You know, I mean, it used to be you have a big thumper in the middle and they control the game because there was so much running involved. Now there's so much things to the edges that you got to have speed. So I think they're going to draft speed in the back seven for sure. You know, whether it be linebackers or defensive backs. And then, you know, third, fourth round, they'll try to find some gem that maybe that's fallen that far to you know, stretch the field. But yeah, I think the first 3 rounds at least will be on defense, and it'll be on the back seven for sure, in my opinion.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
They need to find another Edelman for the short passes. You know, somebody
Yeah.
that can spray it out here, there. To get
Well,
rid of
we
it.
forget too, Nick. We forget too that White was out all year, and he was
Right.
always Brady's go-to guy on third down.
Yeah.
And our go-to guy this year was the other back, Bolden. And he's not. Yeah, but he's nothing.
Right. Yeah, they
So,
need an upgrade from him.
Yeah.
I agree.
my only thing with Mac is I think there's a whole bunch of young, good quarterbacks in the NFL right now, and Mac can't move like them. So he's still stuck in that Tom Brady mold where, you know, drop back. Yeah, he can roll out a little bit. He's not going to run. I mean, Mac's not going to run. So I think I agree with you, Terry. I think they need more speed in their wide receiving core and in their backfield. So, although I'm happy with Harrison, Ramondre. Ramondre is a kind of a throwback guy. That was a good pick in the second or third round. Stevenson.
Yeah, I think their backfield running back is fine. You know, I think James White, if he comes back, could be even an added bonus. But yeah, I think speed all around the field. I think they really showed. I mean, like in the Bills playoff game, it was just so, you know, I mean, the Bills were just such a superior team, and they were just so much faster on both sides of the ball. I think Mac will be okay, but he is the prototype drop back pass like Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. And I think, you know, like you said, in the NFL right now, it's more, you know, like a collegiate quarterback where they're dual threats to run him.
Kyler Murray, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. Those guys can kill you running the ball.
Mahomes.
Yeah.
You know, it's just something else for the defense to have to worry about. You know, nobody ever worried about Brady running ever.
No.
But he still won, but nobody ever had to worry about him breaking to the outside and going for like Mahomes. Josh Allen went for like 46 yards in that playoff game right down the middle. Brady would have never done that. He would have slid after 10.
That was his whole career rushing, I think, 46 yards.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe.
Yeah. quarterback
Hey,
sneak.
Terry, I
That
got
was
another
a-
question.
Yeah.
Sure.
I got another question for you. Coaching the Miami Dolphins, do you take the 100 grand to throw games?
Wow.
Nope. Never.
How's that? How bad is that? And I don't know if they can prove it, but I believe it's true. And I think it's happened in other places too.
Oh, Bob, I'm with you. I believe it's happening too. But the answer to your question, I just couldn't. I know it's a lot of money, but how do you look your players in the face? You know, I mean, listen. People can say what they want about me as a coach, and that's okay. You know, whatever it is. But one thing they can't say is that I ever tried to lead kids in the wrong direction maliciously. It never happened. I would rather lose a game than do that. And I just like, for example, I had standards. I won't even mention names, but I remember the 2007 season. I had a rule that you had to be at a meeting at 5:00, and if you were late and you were a starter, you sat the first quarter. And we're undefeated.
You did that. You did that all the time, Terry. I remember that.
It wasn't punitive. It was about respect for your teammates, and I didn't have to do it very often, but the times I did it, it wasn't just your third string nose guy. This was a significant player, and they were 35 seconds late to the meeting. I said, "Well, it's not 5. I'm sorry," and because the whole team's watching. Like, well, does coach set a precedent and not follow through? Well, no, I follow through.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
You let one do it, they all want to do it.
Right. I hear stuff like that. Just makes me cringe on any level. I really do. I mean, you know, Flores, I don't obviously know him, but everything I read about him, he seems like he's very ethical, you know, hardworking guy. Maybe he's hard to work for. That's possible, but I don't question his ethics at all. And to be asked to, when you get a head football coach in the NFL and your owner supposedly says to you, "Hey, if you lose, I'll give you 100 grand." I mean, what world are we living in?
I know.
Really?
I know.
Right.
What do you think of Tua? I mean, he sounds to me like he gets a bad rap from a lot of people. What do you think of him?
Well, I think Tua, the problem with Tua is just staying healthy, and you know he tries to be a dual threat quarterback, but he doesn't have the size to do so. You know, and he really doesn't have the threat of the long ball, but he's very accurate throwing the ball short. Again, to your thing like Mac Jones, I mean, can you win with Tua in the NFL? Obviously, you can. He has, but can you win the big one with him? Well, I'm not sure. You know, but Tua, you know, he's won a lot of big games in his life too. You know, I just don't know if he is what you would consider a franchise quarterback just because of what he brings to the table.
Okay, gotcha. All right, we got about 15 minutes left, so we should probably do our picks.
Okay, I'll go first.
I knew you were
Let
gonna
me
say
go
that.
first, and then you guys can change. You guys can change.
Hey, Billy's got charts and easels and everything. He's not ready to go. Woo!
I know. Wow. 30-14.
All I'm going to
touchdowns by
say is we
Tony
could have had
Michel.
Nick Chubb.
Wow.
That's all I got to tell you, boys. And believe it or not, the defense is going to be killing Burrows.
Why do you think? Do you think the home field advantage makes a big difference?
Oh,
No.
Billy?
that plus, you know, Tennessee 9 times. I can't see LA not touching them at least 20 times during the game, if not sacks, hitting him down onto the ground, just punishing that poor kid. He's going to get a punishment that he won't forget it. And, you know, that's why they're going to have linemen picked every round next draft.
All right, Terry, we'll save you for last. Nick, you go next.
I've got the Rams 39, Bengals 31.
Wow.
That's a lot of points.
Shootout.
Yep.
He must have 0. Oh, 9-1.
Do you have 9-1 in a pool?
9-1.
Do you have 9-1 in a pool?
No, I don't know. I haven't got any numbers yet.
Hello, McFly.
He's reading something. I'll go next.
No, I
I'll go
don't know. I've
next.
been writing my numbers down here. So 39, 31.
Okay.
Rams.
I'll go next. And this is a hot pick. I don't like Stafford. I love Joe Burrow. I think he's got what Terry was talking about. He's got it. Brady had it. And I think it's going to come down to, the end of the fourth quarter, close game. I think 27-24, I'm going to take Cincinnati. Joe Burrow.
It's a Barbaro pick.
Yeah, really. All right, John.
We'll
I'm
see.
up. I got the same exact score, except I have the Rams 27 and Cincinnati 24. And I think the big key in my mind is I think offensively those teams, you could throw a blanket over the two of them. They have weapons. They have a quarterback. They do all the right things.
They
I
have
think
a running back. I agree, Bobby.
I think defensively the Rams are a little bit tougher. I can off the top of my head name 3 or 4 Rams defensive players, including Jalen Ramsey and others. In Cincinnati, the only ones I can remember are a linebacker and a couple defensive backs. So I think that's going to mean it's the Rams are going to have a little bit of edge on defense, and defense wins games. So that's what I think.
All right.
Am I going to be the only one with Cincinnati?
What does Lee Corso say? Nice job, but not so fast, my friends. Not so fast.
It's
No,
going to come
John,
down to turnovers.
John, you have it. You have an ally. I'm going Bengals 23, Rams 20 on the Evan McPherson Magical Tour.
Oh,
the guy's
he's
a kicker and he's unbelievable. I think all you guys said is true. I think the LA defense is going to be fabulous. They're at home, but I think Joe Cool Burrow is going to lead them down the field. He's going to kick a field goal just as time expired, and they're going to win 23-20 Bengals.
Wow.
How about that rookie kicker?
Oh, he's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he's good.
I mean, they've got Joe Cool as their quarterback, and they got Joe Cool as their kicker. He doesn't miss.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah, he is. He's good. He's the real deal.
Yeah, under pressure, he's fabulous. Fabulous.
And these aren't chip shots. He's hitting 50-yarders.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, right. And they're not just getting in the inside left ball. They're going right down the middle every time.
He could have done well in arena football. He had a little skinny post. Yeah,
the skinny poles.
Terry, I'm going to get you a job working out in Hollywood with my son with a storyline finish out there.
Listen, I would love to do anything with your son, let me tell you. And California, as you guys said in the broadcast, and we played you guys, I'm looking a little sleek, so maybe I can go to Hollywood now. I don't know.
Hey, he'd love to have you. That's for sure.
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow. So there's 3 against 2.
yeah.
Bobby, why didn't you pick 27-20? Don't we have 7-0 in one of our pools that we're in?
Yeah, we do.
You
Who
got
do we
7-0?
Yeah.
We have. Yeah. Who do we have with the 7?
I don't know. I couldn't find it in my phone. I don't even know.
I must have it in my. I think I took a picture of it. I must have it in my phone. I'll have to look.
You in a pool where the score, you get paid by score changes too?
No,
it's quarters,
just
quarters and final. Yeah.
But 7-0 is like 2 of the best numbers you can have for sure.
Yeah. You know what? The last
At least
time I
the
had
first
7-0. Hey, last time I had 7-0. You know what happened?
A safety.
Like the second play of the game, there was a safety.
Of
It
course.
was 2-0. I went, there it goes. Out the
Guy-
window.
The center hiked it over Peyton Manning's head.
I remember that.
Denver.
Exactly. Out of the end zone, 2 points, done.
Well, 0-0 is good too.
Yeah.
Uh,
We were, hey, Terry, last year, John and I, we were winning the final score. I don't know who was it, Fournette, who broke one at the last minute of the game. We
Yeah.
lost.
Oh God.
Billy,
You get crazy numbers. You had like a 4-9 or something. Was it
no, I don't
31?
know what we had, but all we had to do was they just had to run out the clock, get a first down. The game was over. He breaks it for a touchdown.
Oh.
Angelo, the guy running the pool, he sees us the next day and he has an empty envelope and he goes to hand it to me. He goes, "Oh no, I'm sorry."
Oh. Oh, no.
That was tough. That was
Hey,
like $1,000 too.
Do you guys know, has Shrewsbury changed your schedule at all for next year? Do you know their schedule?
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
We played some tough teams. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
We got better at the end. We really did get better at the end of the year. That game against Wachusett, I don't know if you saw it at all, Billy. Wachusett was damn good.
Yeah, they were.
They have a great quarterback. They had two good wide receivers. They had a running back. We just played great.
That was our best game of the year, John.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Saved our best game for last.
Well, we
That's
had,
good.
what's his name? AJ
AJ.
Ham back too.
AJ
Yeah, he
Ham
missed-
came back.
Yeah.
AJ Ham made a pick. Wachusett had the ball. I'm going, oh, we're going to lose. They're going to go right down the field. And he threw a sideline route. You know, time was running low, but he threw a sideline route. And AJ Ham came out of nowhere and picked the ball off and then sealed the game. It was a great game. It really was. We played great at the end of the year.
That's good.
It's
good.
tough. It's tough to go to, where do we go? Andover?
Yeah, Acton, Boxborough,
Acton,
Andover.
Boxborough. Acton, Boxborough wasn't very good, but
No.
And then you played St. John's Prep in the playoffs. They're real
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
yeah.
49-42 we lost.
What was
To
it?
Yeah.
Andover.
And you were getting killed and you came all the way back, right? Wasn't that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were down
That-
like
that-
49-21. And we got like 3 touchdowns in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, the
That-
Red School cleaned our clock last.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
killed us.
Yeah.
Well, we shot ourselves in the foot, Terry. It was a game. We
Yeah.
had first and goal from like the 3.
Yeah.
And we didn't score.
Yeah.
And they went right down. Remember, they went right down the field. And
Yeah,
after
kid-
that, it was
The
basically
kid had
over.
2 70-yard runs.
Yeah.
You know,
The
and
kids,
we were-
the Polito. It's not Polito. What's his name?
yeah, Karen Polito's
No,
son.
Karen Polito's.
Yeah, her son. Yeah.
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 The running back. He's very good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. He killed us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe I'm about to do this, but I got to give St. John's credit last year. They played a monstrous schedule and ended
Oh,
up
they
being
did.
4. I got to give credit where credit's due. John's always done a great job over there. I've always liked John. I like most of their staff. It's just, when you coach at Shrewsbury, you just can't really like St. John's too much of a
Right.
rival.
Right.
And I
They're good.
don't
They were
I
good.
don't
They
mind-
did have.
Yeah. And I don't mind saying, John, that my last 2 years at Shrewsbury, we were 2-0 against St. John's. I just thought I'd throw it out there, that's all.
We had some success. We did have some. Nick, where did you go? Nick.
Nick bailed. There he is.
There he is.
My phone
You
was
know
right.
what? Wait a minute. Put it
Was Bill-
on the black screen. It was better that way.
There's Billy.
Go ahead, Billy.
Wow.
Let's see the score again. We want everybody to see the score. So that they go against you. I don't know. I just don't see Cincinnati only scoring twice. That's the only thing I don't like about. If you had said 30-27, okay, I get it.
Well, I picked Cincinnati to score 14 points because I figured they'll be the only 2 times Burrows will be standing.
John, did you notice Sony Michelle 2 touchdowns?
I
Yeah.
saw that.
Yeah.
I wonder if he did that for you, John.
He
course
did.
he
Of
did.
course he did. Of course. What I didn't like about Sony Michel is he didn't like contact. He ran away, and it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Give me somebody who's tough, and I'll take that kid over the guy that
Well,
pussyfoots
if you
around.
watch him with the Rams, John, he's different than that now because they put him into pass block.
They
They
do.
put him in passing situations, not to catch, but to block.
Yeah. I
Hey, so
I don't like it.
real quick, I was just thinking about something. How happy were people about that Georgia and that quarterback, how they won the national championship? What a
Oh,
great
yeah.
story.
Oh, I know, huh?
Oh yeah.
Stetson Bennett, talk about a guy who walks on and wins the national championship. Georgia beats Alabama. That's like-
I
Oh,
know.
Bobby and I, we text, and all of us, we all text all year. And so many times we say Alabama could beat some NFL teams. And
They could.
I
They have at
believe
any
that.
one time, they have like 30 guys on their team that are going to be NFL players.
Every
4
year they
years
have-
of school.
Every year they have 10 or
Yeah.
11. It seems like they have 10 or 11 guys drafted.
They get 5 or 6 in the first round.
I think they could beat the Jets.
Yeah, I agree.
How about being a Jet fan? when was the last time they were even significant?
Joe Name?
Huh?
No, Rex
No,
Rex
before-
Ryan had him.
Rex Ryan.
Yeah, so what's that, 10, 12 years ago?
That was, yeah, maybe more than that.
Right.
They stink. They really do stink.
Yeah, they're awful.
Well, Terry, it's been great having you here. We miss you. We miss seeing you.
Yeah,
Hey,
we
I
do.
miss you guys. It's my pleasure. Like I said, anytime you want me on, I'm in.
How are the girls doing, Terry?
What's that?
I said, how are the girls doing?
They're doing well, thank you. That Julia's 24,
Oh, man.
Jacqueline 20. I know, it hurts my head. And Jacqueline's 29. She just got married in October.
We saw that. Congratulations.
We saw that.
My whole
Congratulations.
hair is all gray because, of course.
Join the club.
The one
Yeah.
that kills me, is Julia because
Yeah.
I mean,
Her-
my memory of
Really
her,
is.
she's about this big.
Terry,
Right.
I say every time I watch the movie, Remember the Titans, I think of Julia.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
little girl on the sideline. I said, that was
Yeah.
her. That was
Tell
her.
you what, she used to go to games and watch the games. She wasn't socialized and she'd be talking to my wife. And I'll tell you a quick, funny Julia and Heather story. So, and you guys have heard this before, I apologize, but I ended my career being Wachusett on last play on Thanksgiving 21-20, but that's not the real story. The real story is after we scored, we got a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty because my wife and my daughter are on the playing field. Okay. After
Oh,
the
yeah.
right? So we got 15 yards to have to take a knee because of my wife and my daughter. So they're probably the only family members in high school history to get a penalty, but they did.
That's great. That's great.
Johnny, you got to wrap it up.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. We got to do this more often. We COVID, we kind of just lost everything with Good Morning Shrewsbury. Terry, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh,
And thank
my
you for
pleasure.
backing me. And thank you for
I got
backing
you,
me.
John.
Go Cincinnati.
Okay. We'll see you next
Go.
time.
Hey,
Go jet sweeps. Oh, sorry.
what's Billy got? What do you got? Your tax return, Billy?
It's a check to Sony Michelle.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Take care.
All right, Terry.
All right,
Okay.
Terry. Thank you.
Take it easy, guys. Good seeing you guys.
Good
Yeah.
seeing you too. Say hi to Heather.